How you doing? So I want to go over the lease really quick. So basically, I have a couple properties here. So on the lease, this lease is going. By the way, this lease is probably going to be emailed to you, and I'm going to give you a short form that I'm going to go over either at this video if I have enough time or in another video. So the lease has all the addresses in there. So on the short form, you'll just circle which one. Okay. Now remember, this is a 7-month lease. Okay, and it's designed. So you're a resident. If I don't do a 7-month lease, state of Florida makes me charge vacation tax of 9%. Okay, so the lease handles that. $25 exit strategy to get out of the lease. Okay, and in the $250 administration fee that I collect up front, which is non-refundable, to the $25 is charged in there. So basically, you only just need to give me 30 days notice. Okay, moving on. Again, 7-month lease, 30 days notice. Please, please give me the 30 days notice. I know a lot of you don't do it, but I appreciate it if you can do. Okay, smoke-free living environment. You can't smoke anything in the house. Okay, we can smoke outside, but nothing in the house. No vapes, no pot, no cigarettes, nothing in the house. If you want to do any of that stuff, you got to go outside. Okay. Every lease is dated for September 1st. It's obviously not September 1st because we have the short form. We're filling it out with the correct date on there, but I had to put something in when I was creating these. You would fill the amount out on the short form that we agreed on, okay? Rent is due on the 28th of each month, okay? And there is a $75 late fee if you're late more than 3 days. You have a 3-day grace period, okay? Tenant improvements, if you can do anything and improvements in the room, you just got to let me know. As long as it's nothing crazy, you can't be painting and stuff like that. But hanging curtains and stuff like that, that's no problem. But please just let me know so I know what to expect, okay? Moving on to page 4, utilities are you know, I'm paying the utilities, so let's be respectful with the power and so forth and how you leave things on. Always turn off light switches, okay? Abandonment. If you abandon the property for any reason, I'm going to assume that you left. You know, and if you left, and it's usually because you didn't pay your rent or something like that, and you split, and I don't hear from you, I'm going to assume that you just left after 3 days that I don't hear from you from the time that the rent is due. And if that's the case, I reserve the right to take the room back, okay, and clean out your stuff. If for some reason you're incapacitated in the hospital, wind up in jail, or whatever it is, and you come back, you just have to let me know, and we'll make arrangements for you to come back. It might be a different room. But if the property is abandoned for more than 3 days after rent is due and I don't hear from you, I'm going to take possession of the room back, okay? Okay, we will pay you a $50 fee if you're able to let us show the room and you leave properly, which means you give 30 days notice and so forth. I'm going to give you a bonus if you do that, if you do it the right way. It means you let me show the place, you give me 30 days notice, and you have had done everything correctly while you were living there. As far as drugs go, 0 tolerance for drugs. I don't tolerate them. So just know that, and I'm really serious about that. That's all I'm going to say about that, but there's no tolerance on drugs. I don't love any drugs. If you look into drugs and you think you're going to get away with it, go somewhere else, because this is not the place for you. Again, smoking cigarettes and vape, any of that stuff's not permitted. You got to clean up after yourself, whether it's the kitchen or the living room. The kitchen or the bathroom. You have to clean up after yourself. It's very important. The kitchen and the bathroom really should be left in showroom condition, which means if you use dishes or this or that, you clean up and you put it back when you're done. There's no leaving anything out. There's no going back to your room and then, you know, doing it later. There's none of that, because keep in mind, it's got to be clean for the next time that you come back, and it's got to be clean for another resident that lives there. So showroom condition, you use something. When it's done, you clean it and you leave. That's exactly how you got to do it. It's really, really simple. Most of the time, most people, when they move in, things are clean, and then they use it, and then they go back to their room, right? So if you use the bathroom, you clean it up, you clean the water off the floor, you know, you leave the shower the way it is, and you just go back. And the same thing with the kitchen. Quiet times between 7 a.m. and 10 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. and 7 a.m. Okay, so that's nighttime, right? So that's quiet time. If you're moving around the house after 10 p.m. and before 7 a.m., you have to be quiet because people are sleeping. Dress code, obviously, is, you know, you're not going to walk around with just boxers and no shirt on. You want to wear, you know, just a shirt and boxers, shorts or whatever. You know, never want to be streaming around the house naked or anything like that. Always lock the doors when you leave. It's really important that you lock the door behind you. When you move out, you should keep, the room should be left the way you found it, which is in a very clean position. Again, $250 non-refundable administration fee. Okay, of that, $25 is there to exit the lease, and 30 days is required to let me know. If you want to make extra money, I allow for that when a room becomes available. If you show the spot for me, I'll pay you $50 if you show it, and then clean up the room and get the stuff cleaned at the dry cleaners, or not the dry cleaners, at the laundromat. I'll give you an extra $50. If you're not paying rent and you're trying to grandstand and to stay there and not pay, that's going to be a problem. I will wind up evicting you. And, it's better off that you just leave peacefully and respectfully. I like to think that I would have a good relationship with everyone that's there throughout their time. So if there is any grandstanding and I do have to evict you, I will. And once I do file for eviction, I will foresee the entire eviction, and it'll be on your credit for 7 years. And anytime someone pulls your credit, it's going to come up. So, if we have any problems or any issues, I would like to think that we could work it out. I don't want to go down that road. I don't think we need to go down that road together. Overnight guests are acceptable from time to time, as long as it doesn't get excessive and there's not a lot of noise involved. Candles and incense, nothing on fire is allowed in the property. If you want, you could use flameless candles. Those are the ones that you just put a battery in. Okay, if you lose the key, it's $50 to replace the key. If there's central air in the property that you're in, we leave the AC on 75 and the heat's on 65, okay? Fire extinguisher should be in the kitchen. If there's not one there, let me know, and I'll make sure that one gets there. No shoes, no articles of clothing, nothing should be left in the kitchen or the bathrooms. Nothing should be left outside. Nothing should be left in the halls. All this stuff belongs in your room. Okay, going on to page 8. Paying and trying to avoid clogging or toilets. If you clog the toilet for any reason, it's going to be your responsibility to unclog the toilet. Okay, I've had some issues and problems, and usually too much paper in the toilet. And if this is what's happening, it's going to be your responsible and your expense. Okay, we have a snake on premise, or a plunger, and if there's not one there, you can run down to the store, buy one. I'll pay for it, but you got to make it your responsibility to unclog the toilet. If it needs a plumber, you're going to have to be the one to pay for it, okay? If you live there by yourself and you rented the place all by yourself, you'd be responsible for it. The same holds true there, okay? The oven, never leave anything in the oven, while you and walk away and go to your room or anything like that. You have to attend to your stuff. The garbage truck comes twice a week. Smelly stuff that we're putting in the garbage, like, any meats or the diaper from the meat or any of that, just put it in the outside. Keep in mind, you don't want to put dirty, filthy garbage in the garbage inside the kitchen because it's going to stink. So unless it's like paper or plastic or stuff like that, but anything that's meat-wise, if you're going to put it in the garbage inside, you got to put it in a Ziploc bag or something sealed. Well, just bring it outside. Paper towels are always provided by you. I don't provide paper. Those are your responsibilities. Driveway parking is for residents only. There's no assigned parking. If you have a guest, you got to figure out where they're going to park. Usually there's street parking, and I haven't had any problems with anyone towing, but that's at your own risk, okay? You got to keep your windows closed at all times. This is for safety persons, and keep in mind the air is always on, so it costs a lot of money to keep that stuff on. Never leave anything on the stove again. Toaster oven, always unplug it. Refrigerator needs to be kept clean. If you have anything in there that gets old, throw it away or put it in the Tupperware and seal it because it's going to smell. Okay. Rent is due on the 28th of every month, and there's a 3-day grace period. Okay. You never pay me in cash. The ways that you pay me is quick pay by Zelle. Okay. And my email is gcalabria123@gmail.com, or you can go to the Chase and you can drop off a money order. You can get a money order at Walmart for about 68 cents or 98 cents, something like that. They don't allow for cash drops into the bank. If you're more than 3 days late, $75 late fee. Okay. I reserve the right again to enter the room after 3 days if I don't hear from you, to clear out your room. If for whatever reason, again, there is drug use, I will call the police, if I hear about excessive drug use in the property. Rents will be prorated. We'll have to, discuss that on when you move in, but everything is always due on the 28th of the month. Again, bank check is the Chase is the bank, okay? In the event there is a problem and that's not working, you can just give me a call and we'll work it out. If I get a complaint about you for 3 times in 1 month, it's going to kind of be considered excessive, and I may ask you to, to move out. So, there's things that we can work through, but if there's things that get excessive, we might have to move our separate ways. Okay, the key is your key, and it's never allowed to be make a copy to give to anybody else. No one should ever be stopping by the property and be going in your room when you're not there. It's for you only. Okay. Page 11, page 12, you can read on your own. Page 15, you can read on your own. Page 16, you can read on your own. Page 17, there's some other disclosures in here, like carbon monoxide alarm. There's just some disclosure and stuff like that. Some other disclosures like lead paint and stuff. You could, you're more than welcome to read the lease yourself, but those are the major things that I went over, and I think, I got it done pretty quickly. I'm going to do another video for the short form, and we'll see you on the next video. All right, guys, welcome, and God bless.